Hey, welcome to the first edition of JT in the Raw, and I'm hanging out with my family here on the sunny Australia's Gold Coast for a long weekend. Later in the show, I'm going to tell you why I'm up here. So, what is JT in the Raw? Each week, I'm going to share some education, stories, all to help strengthen your business and maybe even your life. You're going to be very loosely entertained and maybe even a little pissed off with some of my opinions sometimes. But most importantly, you've got the opportunity to ask me questions. You can ask anything you like. Just ask your questions below in the comments section on Facebook, YouTube, or if you're watching on the Active Management blog, just send me a comment. You can also ask questions by tagging me on Twitter or Instagram with the hashtag AskJT. So if you've got any questions, just ask them live and I'll do my darndest to answer them during or by the end of the show. So JT in the Raw is a big commitment from both of us. This show is going to be on every Friday at 8 a.m. Sydney time, which is 3 p.m. LA time, 6 p.m. New York time, and I can be the last thing you pommies see when you go to bed because I'm on at 11 o'clock your time. This week, I've been working on the Active Management. I edited the soon-to-be-released Powerful Insights ebook, which features an interview with the great Casey Conrad. With happiness being one of the most searched terms on Google, I've been working on some social media tiles for our members that will enable them to share different concepts and ideas that make people happy. And I've been rebuilding the onboarding process for our Active Management members. We've made some major changes to improve the member experience in our member hub, so we need to re-onboard our members. And I've got to be honest, my quest for the perfect onboarding process started after reading The Membership Economy by Robbie Kellman Baxter. When you're in the business of membership, you have to help new members understand how to get the most out of their membership. This means understanding what their membership includes. It means how to get the most from their membership. It means understanding the culture of the business and feeling part of the community. When we tick all these boxes, we are then setting the foundations for long-term members. Oh, and you've got to try to do that in the first 30 days. Unfortunately, many gyms and PTs think the sales process is done once the paperwork is completed. And it may well be for them. But for the business, the new sales process is just beginning. And that sales process is sticking with exercises number one, and sticking with them, i.e. the business, is number two. This week, I listened to a few podcasts. EO on Fire, I should say, with John Lee Dumas. I love hearing stories about entrepreneurs, and every show I pick up a couple of good ideas. But my real insight this week came from the Fitness Business podcast, listening to Bill McBride. Bill was talking about how to tap into allied health professionals, and he said we really should be looking within our membership base because there's probably physios or doctors or nurses, massage therapists, podiatrists. They're already within our group, within our club, that absolutely love us. So that's a great place to start when trying to build a relationship with allied health professionals as a marketing opportunity. So just going back a track, I should have mentioned a huge thank you to Brian O'Rourke and Brad Greenbank and Troy Morgan for inspiring me to do my version of what Gary Vee does. That's what JT in the Raw is all about. This is a long show, this one, but generally they're going to be about 5 to 7 minutes. This week I was also thinking how important people are in business. In fact, any business. And when we consider that they really are the main differentiating factor between businesses, it's funny how we tend to focus all our energy on how to get new members, but we tend to forget the staff. So I ended up reading some really interesting statistics in my research. Firstly, in a US study recently, it was found that 66%, two-thirds of the workforce are completely unengaged at work. 87% of highly engaged employees are less likely to ever leave you. Engaged teams grow profits 3 times faster than disengaged ones. And 98% of CEOs, that's nearly 100% of CEOs, look at employee engagement surveys once a year. Yet, 62% agree that hearing from workers once a year is not enough for timely insights. Geez, we spend so much time and energy trying to retain customers or get new customers. My question is, how much real time and energy do we spend ensuring that our team is totally engaged with us on our business journey? So why am I on the Gold Coast? Well, I was in Santa Monica when the LA Marathon finished. I was looking at the different shaped people who had just run, shuffled, or even crawled across the 42Ks. And I thought, geez, if you can do that, so can I. I then overheard an overweight lady sobbing in the arms of her husband and kids, saying that completing her first marathon was one of the best things she had done in her life. The emotion was pouring out of her, and that conversation alone made it for me. I made the decision there and then that on my bucket list would be to do a marathon before I turned 50. And I had 5 years to get there. Then 9 months ago, my personal trainer, Darren, he said, why wait? I gave him every excuse under the sun on why I wasn't ready to do a marathon. I used every excuse your prospective members and your prospective clients would say. And he kept saying to me, why wait? You'll keep telling me you're not fit enough. Anyway, I'm here because in 2 days, I'm going to tick off running a marathon. And just quietly, I'm pretty excited. So I'm very grateful to Darren from CrossFit Ignite in Sydney for your guidance, your wisdom, your encouragement, and your love, mate. Thank you. And it was only recently I realised why I didn't want to do the marathon until I was 50, or other than, of course, being fit enough. As humans, we prefer stability. We prefer the status quo of our life. And in fact, we hide or we run from instability or in an environment that we haven't experienced before. So for me, it was easier to defer something I knew nothing about than accept it. And guys, this is why people don't join gyms. The fact I trust Darren makes me feel safe. And if he thinks I can do this run, then I'm comfortable. In business, we must work on people trusting us, especially if their purchase means they're moving from a stable environment into the unknown. Okay, next week, JTInTheRaw is going to be coming to you live from Sydney Airport, 8 a.m. next Friday, as I head across the ditch to speak at the New Zealand Fitness Expo. So I hope you come back for another edition and tell me what you think below. Let me finish with a little quote that I read this week that meant a lot to me. There are no traffic jams when you go the extra mile. Have a good one.